I'm just a music guy.
Born and bred musician.
It wasn't a choice I made. It's a brave thing.
I was shaking, I was so nervous.
I'd rather be a beggar singing.
You actually have to have much more discipline.
To look at it as a business.
Getting any gig that I could.
Your level of excitement literally feels like an out-of-body experience.
My name is Siyabonga Medani Slicker. I'm from a group called Squatter Camp.
Hi, my name is Loiso Bala and I'm a musician.
I'm Louise Carver, a singer-songwriter.
My name is Wanda Baloyi.
My name is Lloyd Tele.
Hey, I'm Daniel Barron. I'm a pop rock singer and songwriter.
Hi, we are the Muffins.
What?
I got my first record deal at 15.
We've been playing pretty much guitars, the bass and drums for like the greater part of the last 3 years.
I started making music when I was a little kid.
When I was about 6 years old, I started playing drums on like pots and pans using a pair of chopsticks.
I started making music in around 96, 97, in my mother's house.
My parents used to say it was very odd because I was very sickly. I had chronic asthma, but I could sing without worrying about breathing.
We were building our own studio with equipment, recording in a toilet. The voice booth was the toilet.
I would sing very loudly to my parents' vinyls, including Queen, Johnny Clegg, anything. And that was about 2.
I grew up in a township called Guamashu. And at about the age of about 11 and 12, I was madly in love with Michael Jackson, and I wanted to be like him.
When I was like about 15, I would finish school and go straight to the country club or the restaurant, and I'd play till 10, 11 at night and entertain people. So this is what I've been doing all my life.
The power of a song moves people.
It was just so exciting to see what you can bring to somebody's life. You can literally add joy and make them smile and make them feel good.
You stand in front of hundreds of people and give this thing that you believe is good enough, but you don't know.
We were singing a song, it was called the Moya. And so there's a part where we just like bounce, and like we just jump. There's a part where we jump, and like the whole place just jumped. Like when it looked like it was a sea of people, like an ocean just going shh.
Joe, well for me, when I started out, I thought I'm gonna get signed, I'm gonna sing a song, and then I'm gonna be rolling in the dough, waking up in my new Bugatti. So unfortunately, that's not the truth.
A musician has to be an entrepreneur and has to be strong of business mind.
That you could have a great month and you could have a lot of gigs, a lot of opportunities, and then you could have a bad month where there's not much income.
So those days of drinking and getting absolutely slaughtered and drugging, it is not that world that we live in. You need to be running your own business.
Some of the times actually I've got to pay the record company money back because they never quite reach their target.
You have to sell t-shirts, do something to pay rent.
So when we went and we were starting to learn about what Samro does, and they're like, yeah, so your song needs to play X amount of times, and then we can pay you, and it builds up, And we were like, okay, so our songs are not playing on radio. Okay, so this is not gonna happen.
And I had a couple of months where, even when my songs were doing well, I had a couple of moments where, you think, do I keep going?
You need to be awake to every income stream.
I became a member of Samro before I actually knew what Samro was about. So then when I started getting my paycheck, I'm like, oh, is this what Samro does?
It took me by surprise actually, because when I signed in to be a member, I wasn't actually expecting to get anything, you know. I thought it was more from just getting advice and getting support.
Well, we got our first check, or we got it was like through an EFT, you know, like yo. So we sitting with the group, like, so you know, we used to just, when you're performing, it's common just to get money, just off shows, whatever the case be. So you know, we sitting with like, yo, I just got X amount, you know, from Samro. Did you get it? And then I said, yeah, I also got that amount, but I never wanted to talk about it because I thought you guys are gonna wanna say it's yours, you know.
I've really been able to build my career, to build the career of others, and to also sort of build my life based on those paychecks.
When I got my first royalty check, I'll never forget. I won't even forget how much it was, and I gave it to my mom.
There's a friend of mine that I was working with who I believed was a great music producer, and halfway through the album, he heard that, you know, he was going to be retrenched from the studio that we were working at because they were going to close down. And so I gave Samro a call. I asked them if they could kind of give me an advance, which they did, sort of like within a week, and I was able to buy that studio, and so I was able to you know, my friend and I were able to partner up, and through that, you know, he's obviously taken the studio over now, because I'm not a producer, I'm a songwriter, and I'm an artist. But you know, through that, he's probably now the top music producer in the country.
And I was moving out, I wanted a flat, and I didn't know that Samba money was there, and until like someone sent me cash into my account, and boom, there was like bones.
So I had this massive hit on radio, and I was working in a restaurant. And I think one of the MDs of Sony was eating at the restaurant, and he called me over. I think I was 18 or 17, and he said, aren't you Louise Carver? And I said, yes, I am. And he said, but you've got a #1 hit on South African radio. Why are you working in this restaurant? I said, oh, I haven't earned anything. I haven't really got any money from it, so I still have to work. And he said, okay, we need to talk about this. And then I soon after signed to Samro, and I got my first check, which was a payment, the first payment for my first apartment.
To finally get payment out of it was really quite refreshing. You know, it felt good, and it actually motivates you to actually even work harder and to really take your music seriously.
Music is a force that can unify.
Music provides healing to a nation.
I don't think there would be life without music.
It talks about issues that other people wouldn't necessarily.
I feel that I have a calling and a purpose which can really make South Africa a better place.
I believe that I was given the responsibility to use my talent, to share it with others, and to inspire others.
And I know as a music listener that music has totally changed my life.
Look, I think to all the venues that are actually using music and actually paying the license fees, firstly, thank you.
Thank you, Samro. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up.
If it was not for performances, if it was not for licensing, for licensees paying, paying the money to play the music, if it was not for radio stations, there would just be no music. You know, like a country without music or the arts is just bricks and cement.
I'd like to say thank you to Samro.
Thank you so much, Samro, and our licensees. Your contributions and Samro, your payments make South Africa ready to take on the world.
That is a way of saying I respect this job.
Your contribution is not only just to us, the writers, but you're making a difference, and this difference is a healing difference. In other words, it will always be positive. You're not only just building musicians, but you're building a nation, and you're healing a nation. So thank you so much.
Let's work together, you know, and we keep making the music. Or even if I'm not someone, you know,